I'm so used to hearing people in my family say that. Oh yeah.
Hi, how are you doing around here? I thought I'd try different road. Yes. Oh, okay, I'll take it. I won't take it off. Go for it.
I have to give it to you, Miss Susie. Dancing is hard. I have to give it to you, Miss Susie. Dancing is hard.
Dancing is hard? Hard? Sometimes it's not so hard.
My bones are just stiff and I was having me and my mom have been doing Zumba this week.
Oh, Zumba's hard.
And the lady does bachata. I stare at her feet
Yeah.
really hard, and
Yeah. Bachata. It took me a long time to figure out bachata. It's only the last couple of months, really.
and it's fast.
Yeah. It's something about steps, tap, steps, and then tap, that tap, step. It always threw me off sometimes.
Yeah, we've been running around on springs a lot, and I got really
There was 1, 2, 3, tap, 1, 2, 3, tap, 1, 2, 3, tap. That tap threw me off every time.
It's the front back. The front back that kind of throws me off.
I was going frontwards and backwards.
Yeah. She does like right foot will go in front and then left foot will go in front
Yeah.
and then over to the side.
Oh, so yeah, because you're doing Zumba, it's more than just the regular bachata. You're doing bachata tempo, but you're doing all these extra twists and things. Yeah. That would be good. Yeah, but that's, I have to move my tummy some more because my instructor had me doing these, really like, he's striking these lines, you know, and I feel like I'm like, if any belly hears it, it really is interesting. So,
Mister, you're not even a big person.
I know, that's why my tummy shows up that much more. So, yeah. So I've got way back on my alcohol. Even I used to have like 2 or 3 cocktails a night, and it all just goes right to your tummy because it's all the carbs and the sugars. So, yeah. And I'm trying not to snack so much.
Oh, that's hard.
That's the hardest part. Because Susie keeps trying to do nice things for me. Oh, I know you like these. Well, yeah, I do, but I'm trying not to eat them. I mean, it's hard. It's hard. Hard, right?
Yeah, I got a bronchial cough, sinuses. Yeah, the coughs are gone for 2 weeks. But it was like, it felt like that.
Hi, Larry. How you doing? He's speaking on this.
Yeah, that happened, even if anything. Yeah, I think I took the song shot one time when I was in my 20s. Yeah,
More apprehensive.
What's that?
You look a little apprehensive, which is unusual for you.
Oh,
Are you okay?
yeah, no, I'm fine. I was just kind of seeing who was here, and no, nothing in particular. I mean, I had a really busy week. I was gone at convention all week, so we had yesterday off, but we like took Pat's car in for service, and we just kind of ran around.
Yeah.
And then kind of tipped over in the afternoon. It's like, I really could have stayed home in the rain today. It's that feeling, you know.
Right.
I love y'all, but God, it would be nice just to
Yeah.
have another, like a cup of coffee. And
This is a cuddle on the couch kind of a day.
yeah, it's a nappy,
Yeah.
in and out, bad movie kind of a day. So I'm here. I'm happy to be here. I'm ready. But yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Okay. You better. We need you for that. Okay, that's good. Yeah. So yeah, all good. All good. On to this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You can go.
So one of the things things that happened at a conference that might affect both of you is that I went to a workshop from the Heffernan Institute, which is a Science of Mind grant giving organization. So they offer grants, large and small, matching or direct, for different kinds of projects. Like they do buildings and grounds.
Oh, good.
They do IT.
Okay, wow.
So, and they do like youth and family, and they do one other thing I can't remember today, but it's in my notes somewhere. But anyway, if, I have your wish list for the hall,
Okay.
but if there's things technology-wise that would take us a step up that you might be interested, can't say that we would submit everything right now. We might submit the hall right now, just to see. But what happens is you end up talking to people who can help with various things, like the IT person is somebody I've known for a long time. She's really good. She used to do all of the online stuff for Holmes Institute, for the ministerial school, before there was Zoom. So she's pretty well versed. She knows centers, she knows technology, and even if you just needed somebody to geek speak to, she'd be really helpful, really good. So just, it's all about making connections and stuff. So yeah, so if you've got something back here you think would take us up a level.
Here we're good. Right here, our little cocoon, we're good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Our sound in the hall, if we're gonna redo the hall, maybe there's something else we can do there. I mean, I know you've already done a lot of work, but I'm just saying, go ahead, dream away. We can't hurt to ask.
You might ask Larry Jackson about that. He used to do professional sound for groups. He was like the sound guy for stadiums. So he knows what saying. He and Jeff too, actually.
Yeah, no, I know they're both really good. So I just didn't know if you were all still had a little wish list tucked away in the back of your minds. Thought I'd give you first crack at it.
At least a half a dozen.
Yeah.
lists.
Okay.
The problem with my wish list, it's all over here and I just gotta type it up.
Yeah. Really, that girl plays here and they got this hot box guitar and then all of his leaves. And air conditioners.
My grandmother's
Sorry?
Does it matter?
still.
Well,
Oh yeah, they're basically a tar roof. It's a hot mop. It's a tar roof, and they have these thermoplastic roofs now. We have one on our house finally. Our house never went through these. They were done 5 years now. Yeah.
Hi, good morning. Oh, that's pretty. Very nice. I like the stairway. It's
No matter where you come from, no matter where you're going, here's a place where you can take comfort in not knowing that whether if you come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's pray together. Come, love and we love. From the best out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. God in us recognizes the God in you. Whether you're black or white or gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you.
Good morning, Claremont Center for Spiritual Living. How are you this morning? You're looking fine, mighty fine. It's good to see all of you. I'm Reverend Tracy and delighted to have all of you here today. Thank you for coming out on a rainy morning. It's good to know that this place serves you well enough that you're willing to get here. If It is lovely though. Have you noticed how nice it smells outside? It's lovely. All right, so let's say hi to our friends online. We know that they too are part of our community. For this community is not bound by a place or even by time. We are simply a gathering of like-minded souls who look to love and enjoy and support each other. So thank you all for coming. Welcome. Our practitioner this morning is the lovely Nisa Burrows. Nisa is available after service for prayer, but it's also Call to Prayer Sunday. So at the end of service, you'll have an opportunity to come up for a little 1-minute inspirational prayer, and we'll talk a little bit more about that right at the end of service. But if you haven't worked with our practitioners before, I invite you to do so. You can put a request in the box in the back, you can tap one of us on the shoulder after service, or you can leave a confidential message on our phone line in the practitioner mailbox. And all of those ways will get you to those who pray for your best and highest good. Our music this morning is provided by the man of many hats, Reverend Jack. And I say we start with a song, shall we? We're going to sing Spirit is in this place. The lyrics are in your bulletin. Let's rise.
We have come together as a family. We have come here as we are. We have come with arms wide open. We have gathered here in love. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof, shout of praise, Spirit is in this place.
And we'll take a moment just to center ourselves in all that joy and energy. So taking a breath, close your eyes, and let yourself just listen to the sound of the bell. For that single tone brings us to a sense of oneness, a place where all things are in harmony. This place within us that knows love, that knows light, that recognizes that divine spark. And a place where we know that you and I and Spirit are all one.
And in this place of oneness, the one life, the one love, the one power, flooding through each one here, as we gather for this wondrous day, coming together truly as a family in spirit, acknowledging the one life, the one love, the one power, the divine mind. As children of the one Spirit. In joyous celebration this day, the joy of being together and knowing that Reverend Tracy's message strikes the heart of each one here in divine perfection, each one taking and receiving that which is wondrously perfect for this moment in space-time for them. increasing the wondrous radiance that each one here is. And I know we go forth from here to share it. Love to all beings, and so it is. Good morning. Wondrous liquid California sunshine. My reading for today is Learning to Dance Inside, Getting to the Heart of Meditation by George Fowler. Sorry. Gently, consistently, strive to realize that the core of you and of everybody else is forever secure, abundant, free of distress, because everyone shares the only existence there is. Don't let this oneness remain just a theory in your life. You possess worthy and beautiful, quite independent of anything you have ever heard or done or left undone. You have it because of what you are, and not at all because of any talents or objects that you possess or deeds that you have accomplished. And absolutely nothing whatsoever. No one whosoever can take it from you. Your life is your living of life. That is the same as saying that the purpose of your being is your process. God is a verb, and so therefore are you. You are an unfolding. You are the eternal life coming to full awareness of itself from within matter. You are not at risk. The reason to keep this vision and to work on it is so that you will not delay your fulfillment and its joy. Your goal is not to arrive somewhere, but to be aware of where you already are. Your process already contains your goal. If you still imagine that meditation is going to give you something you don't already have, you are missing the point of this book. The kingdom of God is already within you, so don't waste your lifetime searching for it elsewhere. The vision you are to keep requires that you act now as though you already have what you're after, because you do. Only your fuller realization of all this remains to be found. The experience of spiritual fulfillment, of bliss, comes not when we acquire it, but when we remember it. Thank you.
So I chose something a little different today. There's a reason for it. I chose a piece written by Scott Joplin. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Scott Joplin. He's known today as the king of ragtime. As a kid, I used to play his music and I loved it. And one of my favorite pieces is a slow waltz that he wrote called Athena. I chose it because I'm going to just pull this up. This little, looking at the little synopsis that we got this week for this service, where it says, in spiritual practice, we talk about turning within, which is what Nisa was talking about a lot, such a good reading. Mindfulness reminds us to return to the now. In difficult times, we're encouraged to not turn away, but instead to turn to each other and to turn to spirit. Where we choose to put our attention determines how we navigate our experiences. Scott Joplin was born in 1868 southern Texas, the son of a father who was a slave. Slavery hadn't been gone very long. And a mother who was born free. So free is a very liberal term there. And his, you can imagine what his upbringing was like. He was blessed as a child that somebody discovered his talent, a German immigrant who was actually Jewish and grew up being called a Christ killer and came here to get saved. So in this teacher, he found refuge, he found free lessons, and a lot of support. But his life was not easy. And I won't go into too much detail, but it was not an easy life. He took ragtime to a whole other level, a level of excellence that they did not see back then, and left a legacy. In times of difficulty, being able to turn within is not always easy, to find that silent place. But any musician who can allow such beauty to course through their being as what Scott Joplin did, has that capacity. Has that capacity to be silent. You cannot compose music. You cannot be creative in this way without being able to go within and be silent. So this is why I chose his music first. First of all, because I love it, but also because of the adversity he went through and this incredible ability he must have had to exercise that kind of going within and silence. So I hope you enjoy this. There are some spots, I'm not going to lie, they're a little bit rough, but I felt like that was okay and that needed to be a part of this experience. So I hope it touches you the way it does me.
something different too. That's fun. All right, so we are lighting our candle this morning for a Sikh tradition called Vaisakhi, which takes place this week. Oops. There's light. It says that it's one of the most sacred and joyful festivals of Sikhism. It's observed each spring, and it's both a harvest celebration and a holy day that commemorates the founding of the Khalsa, the Sikh community devoted to courage, equality, service, and devotion. For Sikhs around the world, it's a day of prayer, celebration, and gratitude, and community. It reminds us that spiritual life is not meant to be lived alone, but shared in dignity, belonging, and service. So today, in the spirit of interfaith reverence, we are lighting the candle to honor the Sikh path and the sacred truth it reflects, that every soul carries divine worth, and every person belongs in the circle of life. And as we do, let us turn to one another and say, you belong here.
You belong here.
That's why you're here.
Exactly. So our primary quote today for today's talk, remember this month is all about transformation. It's a Mark Nepo quote, and it says that each of us carries some wisdom waiting to be discovered at the center of our experience. And everything we meet, if faced and held, reveals a part of that wisdom. So the title is Turn and Turn Again. And as Jack was saying, this is about the spiritual practice of mindfulness. It's about what we turn to. We're inspired to turn within. We're called to turn to spirit. We look to turn to love. We are reminded that we need to be in the moment, to turn to now. And it's true that in difficult times we have a tendency to turn away, but really what we need to do is turn to each other and turn to spirit. It comes down to what we give our attention to. And the world is noisy. We all know this. It's very easy to have your attention directed by someone else or something else, or the circumstances, or the news, or how loud the voices are, or even our experiences are directed by how quiet things are and how much space we have, and is there light coming in the window. What's up to us is to recognize that we have something to say about where our attention goes, and that we can choose to turn in the direction, just like flowers turn towards the light. We can choose how we see things, what we choose to look at, and not to hide, but to know that we are looking from that spiritual center, from the eyes of love. That's our power. Now, there are all kinds of turning. I have days where I just turn in great circles and get really dizzy. Anybody else? You just spin and spin and spin, and it's like, I'm not getting anywhere, this is not good. But we turn away, right? We do that out of fear. Or we turn on someone. We see a lot of that in the world, people turning on each other, which is anger, which is a form of fear, right? Because we get angry thinking we're going to lose something, or that we need to be right so that we don't get lost. Maybe we turn to alcohol or drugs or gambling or just shopping and numb ourselves to what's going on in the world. But our power lies when we turn inward, when we turn back to truth, when we remember that who we are is greater than anything we are experiencing in any given moment. Because what's true is that whatever we are experiencing will pass. The sun will come out again. It just does. And we can know that. When we turn to spirit, when we turn within, when we turn to each other, for love, for support, for recognition, for validation. Those are all ways in which we return to now, which is where we are most empowered. The word turn is defined in a lot of different ways. There are a lot of different expressions, but primarily it's about moving or revolving around a center point or around an axis. And so the question for us on any given day is, what is your center point? Right? What is at the middle of you that you come out from? What is the axis of stability in your own life? It may be community, it may be family, it may be service, it may be joy, it may be the kids. Whatever your center point is, that is how you move about in the world. And we want that to be strong. We want that to be positive. I want to know that no matter what kind of day I'm having, somewhere in me there is a place I can land. There is a place I can refresh and renew. Now sometimes I go away from home to find that. Because in my house there are piles everywhere. Tables, desks. Am I the only one with piles? Nobody's not in their heads. Okay. Just checking. So to go somewhere else, even if it's, quote, for work, can be a break in the routine and be refreshing and renewing. And that's what happened this week. I had an opportunity, Reverend Mary went as well, to the CSL Business Conference, which is once a year, and it's just what it sounds like. It's a business conference. But a spiritual business conference is a little different than those long shareholder meetings that maybe you've tuned into and fallen asleep at. You get a bunch of ministers and practitioners and lay people together and talk about the greater organization, and we talk about what's been hard, what we've come through, where we want to go next, where our attention is being placed now as a community. But really why I went was to see people. Because these are my community, my classmates that I went to school with that are scattered all over the United States and the world doing their own ministries. I went to find and meet and talk and share and laugh and perhaps have an adult beverage in the evening with friends that I've known for a long time. I went to hear more about how other people are living their spirituality, to hear other people speak words of prayer, so that I can get filled up, so that I can be energized again, so that I can turn again to what's important to me and not feel like I'm doing it all by myself. How many of you are really good at just doing things all by yourself? You just get it done. Don't bother with the dishwasher. I'll take care of it, because you don't do it right. Did I say that out loud? All right. So this conference was a way to kind of come in from the world, right? To step away, to get in our little spiritual bubble. And we had a great time. And this whole time away was an opportunity to refocus my attention in ways that I don't normally get to do in my day-to-day. It's a very healing environment. So one of those late night conversations was with a minister friend of mine that I went to school with, and on the first night we were talking and she was feeling very discouraged, especially since COVID. Her community was very small. They were having to navigate a new lease. They weren't sure what they were going to do. She didn't feel like she was necessarily succeeding as a minister, and really just the lowest of the low. And on the last night of the conference, when we were talking about what we had enjoyed with our time together and how things had been, the music was great, the spaces to gather were wonderful, she said, I don't feel like that anymore. I don't feel like I'm failing at my ministry. I don't feel like my community is failing. Now, nothing changed outside the walls of the hotel we were staying in, but everything changed in her. And that's the point of being in the now moment, of being aware of your attention, choosing a new intention, understanding that things change, and so do we, and it's okay to make changes, especially when we do it from a sense of high consciousness, especially when we do it after we've centered down into that knowing of spirit and calm and peace and power that we are. I heard some very powerful people speak. You know, there's some people, you know, when they say something, there's no doubt. There's no wondering if they're just spouting off or trying to sell me something. Oh no, oh no. Truth is truth. Truth is truth. And when you know it and you speak it, you feel it, and so do the people around you. The thing is, we can do that with everything. The thing is, we can shift our intention and attention no matter what it is that we feel is holding us back or holding us down. You know, maybe we had a childhood that was lacking. We all had something lacking in our childhood. That's why we all went to therapy later, to see if we could figure out what to do about it. You know, maybe there's things that if you're working in an office, that there's some guy that just doesn't really do much, and how the heck did he get promoted anyway, and why are we paying him? You know? Or maybe you're looking at the world and you're thinking, how in the world did we get into such a space where things seem so bad? A lot of times along the way, it's easier just to let it ride. Right? Any other conflict avoiders out there? You don't necessarily want to have the hard conversation. You don't necessarily want to say to your guy at work that, hey, you know, man, we gotta pick this up a little bit. Let's talk about what we need to do. If you don't have those conversations along the way, if you don't talk about things at home with your significant other, if you don't talk to your kids when they seem to be making a left turn, you end up later down the road going, why didn't I say something way back then when it first started? You can't do anything about that. That's the overwhelm. That's the helplessness. That's the part that makes us want to just put our head in the sand. I don't know how to fix this. This is too big for me. But if we're willing to take a look at where we are right now and just move forward from here. You know, as Nepo says, there's wisdom in every experience. So we can look back for the purpose of figuring out or noticing what good came out of all those hard things, or what we learned about ourselves that we want to change. We can use that wisdom going forward, but we can only go forward from where we are. And so that work situation, Pat was talking about something similar in her office, and she was saying she didn't want to have the conversation. She's not the guy's manager. She's kind of over the whole department. So he's not really her guy, but he's on her project, and the client wanted to know what he did, and she didn't have an answer because he doesn't really work directly for her. And really what he needed to do was roll off, go find something else to do. And it caused her a lot of anxiety until she went back to center, until she took a few days and decided she wasn't going to get this help from outside. Nobody was going to fix all this stuff that hadn't been taken care of all along the way. And once she realized that, she thought, well, all right, he's got to roll off the program. I know how to do that. I know how to set him up to find something else. I know how to have this conversation. Really, I do. And she said she dropped into that place of knowing, dropped into that place of power, had the best conversation with him and his manager and her manager, and figured out, what he was going to do next and how this would look. And it was just a natural outcome of what had already happened, without blaming anyone, without shaming anyone, without having to be right and make other people wrong. And the guy's going to move forward on to something else. And she said the difference in her approach to it was when she realized that she could have that conversation from a place of kindness. From a place of kindness. It sounds so simple. But have you ever had a manager that said, nope, this isn't working, you're out of here? Ever been laid off? Ever been fired? Maybe you did or didn't do something. Maybe it was just a downturn in the business, but it sure felt personal, didn't it? You can do this with kindness. You can do this with intention and attention on the things that create power and community and support, rather than out of fear or anger or impatience. It's the same in your childhood. You can't undo how you were raised. It's already done. But what you can do is create a bigger picture and choose where you want to go from here. Hey, I never got to take tap lessons when I was a kid. We didn't have enough money. I'm going to take tap lessons as an adult. So there. Am I any good at it? No. Am I having fun? Yes, it's a blast. These things are open to all of us. So when we look at the world and get discouraged, the questions to ask ourselves are not how to get so bad, whose fault is it, and why don't those other people just get off the planet, or whatever that conversation is in your head, and instead ask, what might be next? How might we move? Who am I now that I might be able to show up in some way as part of a solution? You know, what's my center point? I need to turn within first. I need to get in touch, turn to that spiritual nature of mine, to the spiritual truths that we teach. This is the spiritual practice. It's how we do whatever we're doing all day long. Paula Darcy says, in the very act of turning our intention to the Spirit filling the night, when we're in that dark place, we align ourselves with the power in our mind. To be in alignment with a way to move forward comes from pausing. That dizziness of turning too much, what I was talking about before, that means I'm turning without pausing. Right? You've seen the kids, right? You just spin around with your arms out until you fall down and then you laugh. As an adult, that's not the most effective way to move through the world. But if I pause, and I go within, I talk to my friends, I reach out to my spiritual community, I call those ministers I don't see all year long and just chat, then I'm filled back up. Then I'm reminded that right here where I am is the power of life. And I have a choice of how I live. The convention also showed me that I feel better when I'm walking together with people. And I'm not the only one writing a Sunday talk, trying to figure out what our next event's going to be, meeting with the board, doing the business of, I'm the one that connects heart to heart with people, but I also can move in my greater community with people. I don't have to be the leader. I don't always want to be a leader as much as I want to share what I know so that we can all move forward, so that we can be inspired to take action in the world in a way that works for us, so that those of us that don't think we can march or get on a podcast or do all the powerful things in the world, we can make a difference in someone's life. We can help a child, we can help a family, we can help our community of Claremont, we can help those of us in this room and those of us listening beyond. We have a lot to give. And it's when we move from withdrawing from the world to giving that we find heaven on earth. When we take the time to turn back to love, to turn into that peace that we have in us, and when we take the time to be mindful of this moment without dragging anything from the past with us, we're available. We're available to possibility. We're available to new ideas. We're available to ourselves in our own heart, and to know that right where we are, God is. Right where we are, the power of Spirit is at work. Right who we are, as we are, is life. And that life is good and very good. And it is the life in all of us. And if I can feel it in myself, I can see it in you. I mean, you can feel it in yourself. You have room for others. The origin of that root, to turn, comes from a Latin verb that relates to the lathe, the piece of machinery that you put a piece of wood on and the wood spins around and it's shaped by the blades and carves those beautiful table legs and things that you see. That being shaped in the turning. We are shaped by the world spinning around. We forget that we control the depth of the curves or the sleek smoothness of the upper part. We have something to say about how we are. We change the form of something when we turn it on a lathe. That's what transformation is changing the form. So if there is some form in your life that you would like to see be different, the form of a relationship, a circumstance where you live, how you speak, how people speak to you, all of those things can be transformed through the spiritual power of knowledge and practice that we have. At that conference, we talked about hard things. We talked about what had been difficult in the past and what had been changed and what direction and intentions we had right now. We ended up standing and singing and talking in an energy of appreciation, of gratitude. Holmes tells us gratitude creates. It's not just an emotional response to something we get. It's actually the creative force of the universe, and appreciating the blessings all around us increases them. What we focus on expands. So life expresses through us in our desire to serve, in our willingness to give, in our ability to share. And so when we turn to the now, when we turn to love, we turn to each other, we turn to spirit, then we are returning to who we are becoming, and that is always the highest and the best. Namaste. Almost poured it down my shirt. It's so exciting. Let's take a moment. Take a moment and go within. Breathe. Everybody take a breath. There is nothing more to do here and now but to be. And this beingness is the very truth of who and what we are. For this beingness is the expression of life itself that animates our bodies, that sparks our imagination, that informs our words, allowing our words to take form and then to transform, to shape and reshape this life that we live along the lines of the heart. What we love, what brings us peace, who we love, how we act in the world, shaping and reshaping our experience of all that we are, all that we do, all that we say. And so I speak a word that the love and the peace that live within each of us, that divine spark that is always illumined, is the guiding light by which we choose our intention, our actions, our direction. It is from this place that we see how all of us are connected. Like the astronauts of Artemis 2, there is one world. And when you cannot see the lines on the map dividing countries and peoples, oceans dividing continents, what you see is one beautiful whole. This is the greater truth of us. When we take the higher vision, the perspective that Spirit takes, which is that all is life. This is our joy. This is our power. This is the energy with which we create who we are, what we do, how we live. speak a word, that when we are in community, that power is amplified. That while I may take myself into an alone stillness, I am energized, standing hand in hand with the people around me, allowing love to move through and as me into the world, allowing the peace that maybe you feel and I don't today, but allowing that peace to fill me, that I might pass it on. For there is in this life a unifying energy that we all share. And you can call it by any name. You can recognize it in any spiritual teacher. But ultimately, in this world, we call it love. That love that nourishes and sustains and gives to itself that it might continue to become and unfold and expand and transcend anything unlike itself. And for love, I am grateful. For the belonging that comes from love, I am grateful. For the sense of peace that comes from being loved, I am grateful. For the ability to see everyone around me as love, I am grateful. And in this gratitude, my world is created and reshaped and reborn, as am I, as is everyone. And so I release these words into that one mind of spirit, into that consciousness of the one. For in this consciousness, it is all done, already done, already given, already complete. It is simply unfolding in space and time. And it is good and very good. And so it is. Let's have a little more music, shall we? Oh, we should do the affirmation first, huh? You know, see, it's good to have somebody in the front row who keeps track of where we are. Thank you, Jack. You know, you don't even have to say anything, you just raise your eyebrows. All right, there's an affirmation in your bulletin. I invite you to say it after me, please, and inviting our friends online to join us. Today I recognize the voice of truth within. Reminding me to return to the present. My greatest power is always in the now. And so it is. And now it's time for music.
So what I'm going to play is just a very simple thing that came through me last night. It was quiet and gentle, and at the same time, it really invited me to go within even more deeply. And that's it. So I hope you enjoy going within with this too.
ushers to come forward, please. One of the interesting things I heard at the conference, not that it was a news flash, but just said in a different way. They were talking about giving, and I don't know if you know, but in Centers for Spiritual Living, the individual centers support home office. So we send money to home office every month. And then in turn, home office provides us with things like class materials and training and classes and things like that. So what the minister was saying is that when the individuals give into a healthy system, then the system is able to turn around and support the individuals. And that is a healthy style of circulation that we are all a part of. So all that you give, whether it's financial or volunteer or energy or your consciousness, supporting this system allows us to then turn around and spread that around. So thank you for being a part of this particular community and this particular circle of circulation. It's wonderful. So if you will, say our prosperity affirmation with me. It's in your program. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous now. Y'all can hum the song if you know. I'm not singing it. That's all right. Note too that if you haven't already, you can sign up to have your tithe automatically. That's why you don't see me drop a check into the basket every week. It goes every month to the center. It's set up through Breeze, or it's set up through PayPal can do it. For me, it's easy to have an automatic payment because for some reason on Sunday mornings, I'm good to just remember what I'm going to speak about, okay? So this way I never forget my check, and that works really well for me. All right, announcements, invitations. Was there an invitation sheet on the back table, Mickey? Did she just walk out? Susie, was there an invitation sheet for this week on the back table? Yeah, may I have that, please? Andy was on vacation this week, our administrator, and so he prepped us for 2 weeks in advance, but that means that this was back there instead of up here, but that's okay. All right, so we have our call to prayer, which we'll do right after announcements. We have the beautiful flowers this week are from Tori, who I don't even see her today, but she blessed us with pink and purple flowers, and they're just gorgeous. The sign-up sheet for flowers is in the back. If you want to donate, you can, and then you get to take them home with you after we oohed and awed over them on Sunday morning. We are back on schedule with our Wednesday night meditation. Lisa is back in town. She had a lovely Hawaiian vacation. And so she'll be bringing all that hula, aloha, whatever it's called, to meditation on Wednesday. So you can dial in. It's online only. The link is on our website, and it starts at 6:30. So, sign-up sheets in the back for foundations class interest and for Reiki training if you'd like to learn how to be a Reiki practitioner. Our own student Dan is going to offer classes in that. And we actually have the Reiki Share, where the people who are already practitioners offer their services to you, and that's at 1 o'clock on Saturday here in the chapel. Anything else going on that I might have missed? Oh, I had one more announcement, and that is those of you that know Todd Laughlin, he relocated back to Mexico. He runs a neighborhood center that focuses mostly on children, and he sends his greetings and says that he misses us all, and I told him we missed him too. So wanted to make sure I passed that along. Anything else? Okay, then let's stand up, move to the sides, and let's sing along to Abby Walker's. Oh, Lisa? Oh, and then there's call to prayer. Right. See, this is why we are community. Sit down. Nice try. We'll close out our online streaming, but I will invite the practitioners who are here, which is basically Nidrak and Nisa today. Come on up. And here's how this works if you haven't done it before. Think of a situation that you